Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really excited to be reviewing these figures here. These are the Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman and Robin movie figures. And we're starting off with Chris O'Donnell as Robin. We'll take a quick look at the packaging. Let's move this guy out of the way. So the packaging, all four figures are going to be sporting this kind of card art on the back. Just a shot of Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. You got the Build-A-Figure pieces and what goes where, comes with what. You could cross-sell at the bottom. We got some promotional artwork from the movie there. And then in the back here, you got the trading card that's on the back, a display stand. You also get some very important pieces here. You do get the arms of Mr. Freeze, and you also get these freeze elements. Like during the movie, of course, Batman and Robin get frozen. Blast of Mr. Freeze's cool ice gun, and these effect pieces can be used to portray that same thing where the figures are frozen. Kind of a nice touch for sure, something different, but unfortunately we're lacking some things that are kind of crucial for these figures. That is extra set of hands, opening hands, gripping hands, and maybe some weapons, some batarangs, a grapple gun, something. Unfortunately, none of the Batman, Robin, or Batgirl figures come with any of these accessories, so it's a little disappointing. But we'll take a closer look at the completed Mr. Freeze later on. But for now, let's take a look at Robin. And Robin is a real surprise for me. This entire wave is a big surprise. I kind of had no intention of buying these figures. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of this movie. It was quite disappointing for me when I watched it as a kid, and man, it just didn't hold any resonance to me. I watched it again recently to try and get into the spirit of these figures and see what I'm missing. Maybe after watching it for almost 15, 20 years, what did I miss? And man, I didn't miss anything, because unfortunately it's still not the best movie. It's kind of tough to watch, but there are some really good elements about it. The costumes were fantastic. Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy was a real standout. Bane was the biggest disappointment for me. I was so excited to see Bane on the big screen, but he's just a mindless, grunting brute that really did nothing in the movie. It was pretty sad. But let's forget all that. Let's talk about the figures, because that's what we're here for. And this figure is impressive. The Chris O'Donnell portrait looks fantastic. It really captures his look, the costume, and the detailing. Man, it surprised me. When I saw these on the shelves, I was really taken back. See some of the nice fine details on the figure, like this kind of Robin symbol sculpted on the boots. Just the texturing and stylization on the figure looks phenomenal. I like how we kept the Robin emblem here. It's portrayed into the Nightwing, and we know and love from the comics. And it looks fantastic. They did a great job all the way around. I really like having the bat scalpels here as well. It's just an impressive figure. Now, it does have literally no paint on it except for the red chest emblem, but the sculpted detail work is fantastic. The cape, really nicely textured, and the way it's stylized, swept to the side, it looks really nice. Now, I'm sure if some customizers want to take this cape off, you could have a really nice body buck for a Nightwing. We're going to talk about Nightwing a little later on, some comparisons, but this figure does have some great aspects, and I'm really happy to add them to the collection. Like I said, unfortunately, we don't have swappable hands. It does come with two closed fists, and that's about it, besides the freeze effect parts, which they're a nice touch, but I rather have some of the cool elements from the movie, like the batarangs and grapple guns, some extra set of hands. That would have been really appreciated. And it would have been kind of cool to see. Hopefully down the road we might see this in a 2-pack where he has his motorcycle, maybe has that silver and kind of black costume that he wore near the end of the movie for the final confrontation. That would be kind of cool to see some aspects like that, but we'll see. Who knows? But this figure, like I said, has some great elements to it. So let's talk about articulation really quick. Does have a bit of the side attitude. Unfortunately, it doesn't look up a tremendous amount. It's about as far as you're going to get for articulation. Going up, going down, not too much either. You do have the spacer joint, which is nicely painted red to correspond with the chest emblem. I like that and appreciate it. It does have the ball joint at the shoulder, double joint ratcheted elbows. Ball joint at the wrist. Now for the torso articulation, look down a bit, go back up quite a bit. So you got a pretty good range of motion there. Ball joint at the hip, double jointed ratcheted knees, full toe articulation, rocker, ball joint, everything you want. And it's blended in seamlessly with that boot, with the sculpted details. Freaking awesome. Absolutely love it. This figure, like, man, like I said, wasn't kind of on the fence on these figures. I didn't really have any hopes of getting these figures. But when I saw them at Toys R Us, man, they impressed me. And I kind of do want to support Toys R Us. I mean, it sounds kind of weird. Why do you want to support some big conglomerate? But, man, in Canada, Toys R Us is kind of iconic and nostalgic. And you want to support them. And I was really happy to actually pick them up at Toys R Us. They showed up at GameStop as well. And that's about it. Toys R Us or GameStop. And, man, if you didn't pre-order them at GameStop, you're probably not going to get them because they're not on the shelves anywhere. They still are available on the website. Toys R Us, they had a pretty good selection. I was able to find everybody eventually. V was a little tough to find here. But, man, it's just a great looking figure. And I'm really happy to add him to the collection. So, we definitely have the makings of a possible custom for a Nightwing for sure. But let's bring out some other figures to compare this figure with. And, of course, I definitely want to bring out Nightwing himself. This is Nightwing from the Titans line, Build-A-Figure with Beast Boy. This figure was a little bit of a disappointment. Now, it's using the smaller kind of mid-body buck for the young adult. So it suits Nightwing kind of in certain aspects and elements. But when you compare these two guys together, it is a huge difference. This is like a child compared to this beefier body buck they used for Nightwing. So doing maybe a head swap and some repainting would be kind of interesting to see how these two guys would turn out. We definitely have to swap out the hands and give them some eskrima sticks, maybe get rid of the cape. But seeing these two guys together, it's kind of cool to see the evolution. You know, the movie version, the comic book version that we're all used to, and it's quite cool. Size difference, of course, the body bucks are different, but man, it just kind of sparks my imagination to see what kind of customs we can make using this body buck. So very interesting. Now, let's take another figure here. We got Tim Drake as Robin, and I really, really like this figure. Head sculpt, not the best in my opinion, but the body buck is fantastic. And to me, this is kind of like, make a Jason Todd or a younger Dick Grayson before he becomes Nightwing. And just seeing the transition, man. They didn't use this, of course, in this movie. In Batman Forever, we kind of got a glimpse of this stylization of costume. And I am super excited that, of course, we are going to be getting Batman Forever figures. I can't wait to see that Chris O'Donnell Robin, the Val Kilmer Batman, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and of course Jim Carrey as the Riddler. It's going to be really exciting to get those figures. Because I did like that movie quite a bit. A lot more than Batman and Robin, but seeing the transition and what they can do, it's going to be exciting to see what holds for us in 2024. Another figure I want to bring out, using that young kind of body buck, this is Commissioner Gordon as Batman. You can see there's a pretty big height difference in body buck stylization, of course. It's a bit disappointing, but I kind of think the slender body did work for this figure. I don't think Jim Gordon's going to be an imposing, physical, dominant figure, so using the slender body buck did suit him well. And you see the comparison with these two. Man, this could almost be a version of Batman in one of these Batman movies. Kind of very streamlined costume, kind of simplistic, but still holds some detail and some interesting aspects. Now, one figure I'm kind of perplexed, that we haven't seen in these movie lines is the Joker. Maybe there's some issues with Jack Nicholson not wanting his likeness or maybe his version of Joker to be implemented, but we haven't seen a Jack Nicholson Joker. And I really hope down the road we get maybe a 2-pack of the Michael Keaton Batman, Jack Nicholson Joker. That would be phenomenal. Hopefully we see that one day. But here's the Joker from Infinite Frontier. Good height size. I mean, if you want to kind of mix up these movie figures with some of your comic figures, I don't think it would be a big difference in stylization because there's not a huge difference. I mean, this is a really clean, crisp Robin. kind of would look pretty cool with the Joker. So I think it fits into the comic version rogue gallery that Batman has, or you put him into your movie figures. I think it would still look pretty cool. Now, this figure, one of my absolute favorites from 2023. We got the Flash Batman from the Flash movie. Michael Keaton, older Michael Keaton, kind of changed up the Batman costume from the 89 version. And I think these two look pretty cool together, man. In the universe here, sharing some space and time. Man, they look good. The height difference is really nice too. I absolutely love these cloth capes. I wish Mcfarlane would use these almost predominantly with these figures. Just the way it flows, the quality of it is really nice. It looks fantastic. The rubber capes, yeah, they're pretty cool. I don't mind them for the stylization, but the cloth capes really just punctuate the emphasis on how cool some of these figures will look. Now, I know of certain figures like the Robin, the Tim Drake Robin, he has the dual colored cape, so I don't know if it would really work, but man, Lego can make dual colored capes pretty easily in a lot of figures that have it, and it looks fantastic. So I'm sure Mcfarlane could figure out some sort of process to resemble that dual colored cape in cloth fabric. That would be awesome. So yeah, there you go, guys. Our first look at the movie versions of Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Poison Ivy, and of course, Mr. Freeze from the Batman and Robin movie figures. I really do like this figure. It really took me by surprise how well done it is, even though it is lacking some accessories that would have been crucial to make this figure just a freaking 10 out of 10 almost. But yeah, unfortunately, it's holding it back a little bit. The freeze effect elements are okay. I'm really not interested in them too much. The batarangs and extra set of hands would have been great. I'm really excited to build Mr. Freeze and see how this figure of Robin compares to Batman and some other figures. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. We got a full massive playlist of DC Multiverse reviews and shorts. So if you want to watch a little bit more, you always got that playlist to check out. And again, I want to thank everyone for subscribing, following, and liking and commenting on the videos. Appreciate it so much. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next video down the road.